What's up, everybody? It's your boy Kid Smooth from the official WeGameHere.com, and we are back on another episode of the Let's Talk Games podcast. Feels good. I got my right hand man, E-Rock. Please introduce yourself, man.
Hey guys, it's great to be back. This is your boy E-Rock8150 from Extreme Xbox Gamers. Extreme Xbox Gamers. Like the page on Facebook or check out the channel on YouTube, Extreme Xbox Gamers. The revolution that is powered by you.
And we have, one of the soon-to-be greatest game devs of all time. We got Jay from DDI. Please let them know if they don't know now. I'm pretty sure they know by now.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Jay from Drop Dead Interactive, currently working on Xbox One game Gear Gauntlet. Glad to be here again. Seems I've become more of a regular now.
Yes, and we are happy to have you around, and you always make for a good conversation, man.
Yeah, I just wanted to say before we got started, just so I can feel as if I can talk freely whilst I'm here. I just want to put a disclaimer out to everyone, but I'm a game dev at heart, but before that, I'm a gamer, and I'm on this podcast to talk about games and topics surrounding games, and not to be the source of any leaks, be it Microsoft, be it Sony, because I've signed NDAs with both parties, so I'm not going to be the guy that's going to be dishing out free information. But it is going to be talking about games from my perspective as a game developer. So I just thought I'd put that out to everyone out there.
Okay, you guys heard that. This is not Mr. X Media. All right, so one thing I've been wanting to talk about for a little while now is that we know they're about to reveal Black Ops 3 next week, I believe. And then we know Halo 5 is coming. I don't know if we got to talk much about it, but we know that's October 27th. Black Ops is likely coming out the following week. I'm going to say the first week of November. Now, I made a prediction where I was saying Halo 5 is going to come out in September because they don't want to be too close to Call of Duty, but that turned out to be wrong. I was wrong, and I'm seeing like a repeat of 2012, when Halo 4 came out, and it came out next to Black Ops 2, and that was like a complete history rewriting himself, and I just want to know from you guys and everybody else watching is that what is it? If you're going to get one of these games, are you going to get both these games, or are you picking one? And if so, is it Halo or is it Call of Duty? And the only reason why I asked this is because they come out, they're going to be at least a week, at most 2 weeks. I'm saying they're going to be a week apart. And the thing is that what happened with Halo 4 is we bought Halo 4, we played it, and then Call of Duty. Well, when Black Ops 2 came out, I stayed on Halo 4. Everybody else jumped onto Call of Duty, and the Halos online community just never recovered, and I don't want to see that happen again. So I just wanted to get some other opinions on that, on what they think the outcome would be, or what, because this is kind of scary.
Wow. I guess I'll go first on that. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I guess, that's weird. It's weird how the second half of 2015 is just stacked with all these releases. Me personally, I'm an Xbox guy, as everybody knows. It's going to come down to Halo. Halo 5, that's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. I know Call of Duty is a monster. It's a behemoth. I do know that Microsoft and Activision, or whoever makes Call of Duty, did not want to, be going sort of head-to-head within weeks of each other. It's why in the movie industry, actually the movie industry doesn't have too big of a window. You might have Jurassic Park release a week before a Pixar film. It's why the big studios really look for dates and try to avoid each other. And usually the video games releases have tried to look for dates where they can kind of try to avoid each other. It's the reason why back in the old days of wrestling, WCW did not book a pay-per-view the same day as WrestleMania. It's not because you're afraid of competition or you're afraid of getting beaten at the box office. It's because you don't want to split the box office. And, Halo coming out a few weeks before Black Ops, that's definitely going to make some people, I guess, who aren't huge Halo fans say, well, I don't know. Am I going to wait for Black Ops 3 or whatever it is? But, for the diehard Halo fans, that's a no-brainer. They're going to get Halo 5. And Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is going to do what it's going to do. It's going to make big money. But it's going to make its money on the PlayStation 4. Black Ops 3 most likely is going to get curb stomped coming that close, releasing that close after Halo 5. Halo 5 is going to be a beast. Knowing Microsoft, they're going to put about 150 million or more, 200 million. They already started marketing it. They started marketing it like 2 years ago. I mean, so Black Ops 3 is really going to get curb stomped on the Xbox One. On the PS4, it's a different story entirely. So that's a weird one. That's a tough call, Kid Smooth.
Yeah. For myself, I'll admit, if it was a couple of years ago, I would have said Black Ops all the way. But playing that beta for Halo, I must say I've fallen right back in love with Halo Online. That new Halo that they put out there, it was just beautiful. I loved the new mechanics of it. The ability to sort of dash around. The clamber. Just how fluid it was. Everything about it just felt so fresh, and I just instantly fell in love with that beta. So for me, it has to be Halo all the way. Again, Black Ops and Call of Duty, the whole series is for me just gone downhill. I was really not impressed with what I got in Advanced Warfare. To me, it seemed like a second-handed Titanfall. Being blessed with Titanfall just killed my perception of the exosuits. It just felt so second-rate. So for me, I've said it many times. Call of Duty, I just feel like I say I won't get it, but I know I'm gonna get it. But it ain't gonna be straight away. It's gonna be a case of I'm gonna wait to see how many of my friends adopt the game, and then I might jump into it later, or I'll try to pick it up for a little bit cheaper, because I really want to get into this Halo. And if I don't support it and other people don't support it, then it is just gonna be a case of the game's gonna come out, we're gonna jump on it, and then everyone's gonna move on. So I'm gonna try my best to support this, because I really fell in love with that beta, and I'm hoping that the full game comes out and we see exactly what we saw in the beta, just maybe a bit better, more polished, with all the refinements they're gonna add to it. And yeah, for me, it has to be Halo. And I'm not even trying to be a Halo fanboy, because to be honest, I haven't really been into the Halo multiplayer. I've been Call of Duty, but as I said, Call of Duty just have not been innovating, in my opinion. They've added little bits of what other people are doing, but to me, it just feels the same old. And what we got from Advanced Warfare really put me off. So, maybe Black Ops is the one that is going to come out and then suddenly blow my mind. I don't know. But as it stands at the moment, it's Halo for me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The thing is, and the only reason why I say that is that, like, if it was any other Call of Duty, and the thing is, I'm always going to choose Halo over Call of Duty. I buy Call of Duty by default, but I think Advanced Warfare is the last when I'll buy. But you know how Black Ops series has like a special place in a lot of gamers' heart. They claim it being like the best of the Call of Duties. And I think Activision, just with timing, they do these things with these releases to get people drawn right back in there after everybody done dismissed, like, oh, I'm done with Call of Duty and whatnot, and then they give you something like, oh, like for example, after Ghost, I sworn I was never buying a Call of Duty ever again, and then of the Advanced Warfare, I was like, well, yeah, hey, they did doing something different, so I fell for it. I bought it, and I haven't played it. I haven't really played it since. I don't play it, and I'm probably not going to play it again. And with Black Ops, believe it or not, a lot of people are going to be like, oh my god. I didn't ever care for Black Ops like that, honestly. I'm not saying that it was bad. It was just that I wasn't really a fan of it. I actually liked Infinity Ward's Call of Duty's better than I liked Treyarch's for a while, except for when Ghost came out. Then I was just freaking done. But so that's why I was like, I'm not as hyped for Black Ops as the average person. That's why I was like, I know it's going to be Halo for me all the way, and I'm just gonna be interested. This is when I return back to what's going to happen with sales. I just want to see what happens, what Halo's going to do, what Call of Duty's going to do, with the Halo IP, you know what I mean? And they have some clever marketing going on with Halo 5.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just really excited for it. I really want to know more about this Agent Locke versus Master Chief scenario.
Oh yeah.
Man, that thing got me hyped. And so just to see it, like I said, once Halo gets in my hands, I ain't putting it down for nothing. I'm not putting it down for Black Ops. Like I said, I may get Black Ops, but I can't say I'll play it as much as people are expecting to. But Call of Duty's been going downhill for a while, and like I said, I might skip it. I might not. But the thing about Call of Duty, why I can't get it later. If I don't buy it day one, I'm not buying it at all. Because with Call of Duty, you kind of have to buy it day one if you want to play online and keep up. Because if you go in there late, you would never. It's like an algebra equation. You miss one step, you would never finish the equation. So, or you won't ever get it correct. So, whereas Call of Duty, you have to get in there when everybody's kind of news and freshening up. You have to get in there, because if you do it 2 weeks, a month later, not good. You ain't going to be happy with it. So, whereas Halo, I can pick up Halo at any time and feel like I'm competitive. Right, and feel like I'm in. I got just of a chance of winning as this person has winning.
Right.
So I've always had confidence in my Halo skills. So that's why, and just to have that feeling. I can't wait to be back up until like 3 o'clock in the morning, just owning people. But
I heard that, and thing about Halo is, for me, it's got like 2 parts to it. It's got this great campaign, and then it's got the multiplayer. So, for me, it's got a bit of something for everyone. And I know people will say, wait a minute, Call of Duty has campaign as well. But I never find Call of Duty's campaign exciting. I've never finished a Call of Duty campaign since Modern Warfare. Actually, maybe Modern Warfare 2, actually, I finished. But since that, I've just not gotten into the campaign mode. And, it just doesn't excite me in any way whatsoever. But at least with Halo, I'm saying to myself, okay, I'm paying, the equivalent to you guys, $60, and I'm saying, yeah, I feel like I'm getting a good package, But with Call of Duty, I always keep saying to people, just give me a solid multiplayer and take away the campaign and sell it to me cheaper. I'd prefer that. That is a bargain for me, because I hate the campaign of Call of Duty. It's just really not exciting. So, when I'm trying to balance these things out and say to myself, okay, I've got my last $60, what do I buy? Okay, I'm getting more bang for my buck with Halo compared to, the Call of Duty that me and my friends are going to say, oh, yeah, we've got a full party, we're having fun, and then a week later, everyone's saying, oh, I've got work, oh, I've got my kids, oh, I've got this. So now I've just spent all that money, and I'm not getting much multiplayer out of it. Then I've got a campaign that I'm never going to play, so therefore I feel like I've wasted my money. So, just in terms of, thinking financially, Halo to me is more bang for your buck. But that's just my opinion. And, I don't want any Call of Duty, diehard fans saying, oh, you don't know how to play, or whatever. That's just my opinion. And that's what I'm going to be giving throughout a lot of these podcasts, my opinion. So, my opinion as a father and a, gamer, Halo for me, more bang for your buck.
Hey, what that man just said? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just hoping like that I'm just hoping this like people don't generate hype and then don't back it up. I'm hoping Halo 5 would never get Sunset Overdrive or Sunset OD'd. Where nobody goes out and buys it or supports it. I mean, it's just that it is going up against Call of Duty, which people compare. Oh, it's the same thing. Oh, it's no good. And then it still sells millions. But yeah, like I'm probably like I did with Destiny, like I did with Battlefield Hardlines. I'm probably gonna back out and not get him. And right now I'm a rock with Halo, of course. I'm just hoping it's not a repeat of 2012, man. I don't know if you guys remember that, but like, Halo 4 came out and then Black Ops 2 came out like immediately after, and it just wasn't the same, So,
yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
But the thing is, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
No, I was about to change the subject. Go ahead.
Well, before you change the subject, I just want to take 2 seconds to. It's been about a couple of weeks since I've been on this podcast, and it's been about a week since you've done the podcast, and I want to take time out to put this podcast over. Just give me a second and bear with me, because Jay, I know you've been watching this podcast for a long time, and me personally, I feel as though there's a reason why I joined Kid Smooth. No one gives this young man his credit for constantly being innovative with this podcast. In the last 3 months, this podcast has gone from a bunch of gamers sitting around, sharing their opinions, bickering. It then went to bringing in Bella Rise. He went to doing developer interviews with some pretty heavy developers, not just 1 or 2, but basically all of them. Great developer interviews. He scored that great Titanfall interview with Abby Heppy, the community manager of Respawn. And he was the only guy who did, I think, an all-girls gamer podcast back in February. Totally unheard of, never done before, went off about a hitch. Nobody gave him any credit. And now, quietly, while nobody's paying attention, I think I could be wrong, this is the only game-related podcast that now has a developer as part of the actual podcast panel. So you gamers can actually get a different point of view from a guy who's made these games, a guy who's worked with the Unity engine. He can't talk about it, but a guy who's worked with this hardware. Just give the podcast a listen. I just feel as though Kid Smooth never gets his credit. That's my little soapbox. I'm done. But I'm proud. Seriously, I'm proud to be a part of this podcast because this dude always innovates and never gets any credit. Kid Smooth, you do a good job, bro. I'm done.
Well, let me just say, I have to give my hats off to you as well, Kid Smooth, because as everyone knows, I'm over in the UK, so right now it's 1 a.m. And for you to have me up at this sort of hour regularly doing podcasts, it takes a lot. So yeah, let me just take my hats off to you for that one.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are the best, man. Oh my god. All right, so good thing we don't have face cam on. But yeah, no, but thanks. It's just all about trying to give people something to listen to, some insight, and different points of views, and just try to be different but innovative at the same time. I just want to keep doing it and keep on going as we can. But like I said, Jay, I'm still looking forward to your game. I can't wait to
Finally.
The game is harder than Bloodborne. But I won't sell your game after a day, okay?
No, that's cool.
But as the thing is, the first half of the year, oh my god, it sucks. At least on the Xbox side, I can tell you this. And well, to me overall, it sucks because I have a PlayStation as well, and I haven't really been happy with the games that I got for the first part of 2015.
Right.
So yeah, this first half of the year freaking sucks. I am looking forward to the HD remake of State of Decay that they finally put on the Xbox store for us to
Yes.
preload. Got to see that at I got to see that at PAX running, and it just looked good, and I can't wait to get my hands on it full time. But as far as like games, so we're kind of like really are in a vacancy period, for games at this point in time, and
I've been busy. I've been. Well, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all right.
Yeah, I've been playing. You guys are gonna laugh, man. I usually don't play MMORGs, I think it's called. I've been playing this. It's called Neverwinter, Dungeons and Dragons, and
Okay.
it's actually pretty good. Like I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, and that's why a lot of us are excited about The Witcher 3 because a lot of us are into that fantasy and that type of role playing thing. I've been playing the Dungeons and Dragons Neverwinter. Aaron Greenberg himself actually shocked everybody 2 Sundays ago, and on his Twitter account, he gave away free codes for Oddworld, New and Tasty, and I was one of the winners, and I was just like, wow.
You lucky son of a...
I'm telling you, man.
Wow.
Dude, I could not believe it. I didn't know Aaron Greenberg goes on Twitter and does things like that.
Yeah, he does.
I saw his message, and I said, okay, I'll see if he's joking around, and boom, right away, boom, dude. You won Oddworld, New and Tasty. And then Oddworld Inhabitants comes and says, congratulations. And I'm like, I didn't even know Microsoft did stuff like that. And besides that, what else have I been playing? Damn it, I know I'm forgetting something. I've been busy. There's actually there's free games that I've been busy with on Xbox One. I've been kind of busy, man.
Do you know what's funny? You'd think that as a game dev, I have better access to getting free games than a normal consumer.
Yeah.
But it is hard. It's almost as if people don't want to give me games because they feel maybe he might try to copy the game or he's gonna critique it or something like that. The only people that have been really good to me in that sense have been Team 17. Debbie Bestwick, the owner, she's an amazing woman. She's recently just won an award, and the movement she's doing for indie games is it's amazing, and she's just a trendsetter. And I wish her all the success in what she's doing. But my time down there, I went there. She gave me Sunset Overdrive, Worms, Flockers, and The Escapist, and some other swag. That's the only time where I've really received a good bunch of free games and stuff like that. But other game devs, yeah, man, it's hard work. It's like everyone's a competition. So,
wow.
So I'm sort of at the back of the line when it comes to things like that. And so when I get some free stuff, it's like I feel over the moon. So yeah, man, it's hard work.
Yeah, man, yeah. But that's just amazing to me that Aaron Greenberg, he's a busy guy. For him to take his time out of his day and just surprise his fans, the fans of Xbox like that. That was just surprising. I was like, man, that's pretty awesome. But I've been kind of busy, but I understand what Kid Smooth is saying as far as big AAA releases. The well's kind of been dry, but isn't Batman Arkham something
That's
coming
like
out?
June, dude. June 23rd. This is
grief.
In April. Like,
wow.
And that the reason why it's coming out late June because it suffered like a 3-week delay.
Okay.
But like Batman, I mean, you got Batman, but there's
Project Cars is continually showing this video, but not giving a release date, which is pissing me off because I'm a racing game fan, and I really want to check out Project Cars and see if it's the pretender to the throne that they think they are to Forza. It looks really good, but they refuse to give a release date, and I'm like,
it looks really good, but it's gonna be one of them basic racing sims that just look good. You're gonna get bored really quick.
Man,
like for example, this new F1 game that's coming out, they just announced. It looks just like Project Cars.
Wow.
It's like honestly, they look exactly. I thought I was looking at a preview for Project Cars. It was just this F1 game. It's gonna be what same thing as Project Cars. It's gonna be like 900p on Xbox, 1080p on PlayStation. And like it's gonna look good, but it's just gonna be boring.
Right.
So don't even waste your time. Just wait for Forza 6.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say, I don't really want to sort of put any spotlight on this or nothing, but I mean, you just said it there. The whole Project Cars and the F1 coming out at 1080p on the PlayStation, 900p on the Xbox One. Why are the media outlets still making this a big deal? Why is this headline news all the
Because it's a
time?
dry season, and they need clickbait, man. I promise. I'm making a promise. I'm sorry, before I cut you off. I'm making a promise to everybody. For those who are visitors or registrants or been to the official WeGameHere.com, we post news articles there as well. I'm one of the writers there. You will not see an article written by or reported by Kid Smooth that says anything that's announcing a resolution for a freaking game. I refuse to do it. It's getting on my nerves. But go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it's just like I just feel like why is this still a topic of conversation? Why are people still rallying behind these type of articles? The articles are boring. How many times can you say 1080p on PlayStation, 900p on the Xbox, blah blah blah? Do you know what I mean? It's become so tiring now. And I have both consoles. Be it dev kits, be it paid for hardware. So it's not even a case of fanboyism. Yes, I prefer to game on the Xbox more, and that's just because of the controller. If the PlayStation had a controller similar to the Xbox, I'd be playing on that. Switching between both of them, it's not a problem. But for me, currently the Xbox has that edge, and I do not see this. Like when I play a game that's in 900p, my eyes don't bleed. I don't suddenly feel, oh my god, I'm being shafted for my money because it's in 900p. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you go back to the whole Rise situation. That game looked stunning, and that wasn't bloody 1080p. What's the other one on the 1988 or 1888? So
yeah, we forget the name of it already.
I never bought that game, so I don't want to pretend I did. But that game again, another game that looked really gorgeous and wasn't 1080p. So please, people, gamers, I beg you, let's tell these media people to stop with these articles. Give us some real gaming news, because that is what we need. They shouldn't be getting all this advertisement money and stuff like that from these rubbish articles. They need to do some work and become proper journalists and give us that real gaming news.
It's crazy. I'm thinking about, how like on the internet, we get gaming news, minute by minute, hour by hour, right? How back in the day I used to rely on Gaming Informer and Gaming Pro and Electronic Gaming Monthly magazines and stuff. Imagine if this was going on during that day. That means in 1 month they would have a whole magazine dedicated to 1080p.
Yeah, exactly. Ridiculous.
That would be crazy. But it's just something that they boil back up, and then it sounds like a broken record. Like on the latest, I think it's the F1 game that's coming out. GameSpot reported about it, and the start of their sentence says, "Yet again, another game." That's coming out in 1080p on PlayStation and sub 1080p on Xbox. It's like yet again. So when another game is announced at sub 1080p on Xbox but 1080p on PlayStation, what are you gonna say? You're gonna say, and yet again another. They're like, why do it? Why bother? It's like they don't have like a committee team to just bypass certain shit. Like, like all right, here's the news for today. Oh, 1080p. We don't have nothing to put. Oh, let's put that out. It's like. I don't get it. It's like, what is the point?
The thing is, they act as if they say, oh, we need to stop doing this, but then they keep doing it. So, do you know what I mean? Like you say, there needs to be someone to say, look, guys, come on, man. We had this article last week. Let's not do this again. Let's be fresh. Let's try and get some latest news. I don't know. I just get that a scene from like a Spider-Man thing where you got someone at the Daily Bugle saying, "Oh man, we need some real articles. Please, someone mug someone. So we got something good to talk about." This is like a scene from that. It's just like, is it so dry that is what you can do? You can count peas and all this nonsense. It's just ridiculous, and I don't know. We just need to move on, because and gamers out there, man. Stop letting them think that we've got small brains and these kind of articles are stimulating our minds, because it is not, and we just need to move past this.
What I try to do, guys, is because once again, and I'm always going to keep bringing this up. I'm older than you guys. I'm probably one of the oldest gamers out there at 46. I try to focus on my life, and I try to live my life with like a filter on. I have a life outside of gaming, as we all do. We have jobs, girlfriends, things we do, and gaming is our hobby. And some of us aspire to be video game journalists. And if you look at this generation, this 8th generation, it has been a void of any substantive news. There's been a void of anything of any real importance other than Anita Sarkeesian and Gamergate. That was actually real news. The rest of this stuff has just been finger poking, name calling. My private parts are bigger than your private parts. My black box is better than your black box. A lot of it's just been, we live in a 24-hour news cycle, so there is no news. And when there is news, usually the media doesn't want to report it. It just seems like for some reason, it's not a situation where it's, oh, poor Microsoft. Microsoft made a capable console, a very capable console. It's just that it looks like to me that sometimes the PS4 can reach 1080p faster with compromises. We've seen it. Frame rate drops, stuttering frame rates. For some reason, the Xbox One multiplat seem to run better at a lower resolution and keep a rock steady frame rate. My problem is that gamers and the media still, for some reason, cannot use their brain. They cannot use their critical thought process. And when someone like me, who's been following this industry for, oh my God, almost 20 years, uses critical thought process, Jay, I'm called a damage controller. I made a video the other day about this, and some guy got in my comment section and said I was damage control, and I quickly deleted and blocked him and got him out of there because I don't want that. I do not want that negativity on my page. But why is it that Electronic Arts can get 1080p on Madden, a game with there's like at any given time 22 or 30 playable characters and NPCs on the field at any time, plus a full stadium full of characters? Electronic Arts can get 1080p, but Konami can't for the soccer game. Forza 5 could get 1080p and blazing 60 frames per second, but Project Cars can't. So you have to look at things with some kind of filter and ask yourself these questions. Is it the Xbox One or is it development? And this isn't saying those developers aren't any good. I made a statement the other day saying that Project Cars and Mortal Kombat were probably started on in 2012 on the old development kits. So I can hear the fanboys and the haters now because it's become so in vogue to hate on Xbox. Why? I don't know. They've given you practically everything and no one ever gives them any thanks. I don't even know why Microsoft even bothers, but they bother obviously for me, you, and Kid Smooth because we love them so much. But Microsoft has given you everything, and it seems like it's so in vogue to just hate them and find a reason to poke fun at them and, oh, they made an underpowered console. How do you know? You weren't there. Well, these multiplats are proof. Then how do you explain Electronic Arts always getting 1080p for Madden? How do you explain Xbox developers always wrenching the best out of that console and these multiplat developers can't? This argument was different back when it was the PlayStation 3. You guys had excuses and backups all day long. Now, and I understand what it is, guys, not to be so long-winded. I get it. We can have a discussion about this for another podcast about how for 8 years, the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Nation and the PlayStation Pro Media got their asses kicked by the Xbox 360. So now that the Xbox One has stumbled out of the gate, oh, let's kick them when they're down. But you know what, dude? It's video gaming. No one's holding a gun to your head to buy any console that you don't want to buy. And I have to agree with Jay. I want video gaming news. I want video gaming journalism. If you guys are going to make 1080p a thing, fine. But you're going to be disappointed this entire generation because your biggest gun, the Order 1886, wasn't in 1080p. It wasn't for artistic reasons. It's because the PlayStation 4 couldn't do that level of artistry and pump out 1080p. That's what they don't want to tell you. That's what Radiant Dawn doesn't want to tell you. So let's look at this with some kind of filter on and move on from the 1080p. Because if you leave the comments in the comment section, I'm going to delete them. There it is.
Now, so Jay, you want real gaming news. E-Rock, you want real gaming news. You know where you can get that? You can get it
here.
The officialwegamehere.com. You get that real gaming news from the officialwegamehere.com. All right. And speaking of the officialwegamehere.com, one of my co-writers and one of the content creators here at Rise and Grind just put out a new video. Was it today or yesterday? But welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
He's having mic problems. Hooray!
Well, just to sort of go off what E-Rock was saying, I just want to say to defend developers, kind of like what E-Rock said. Every game's an individual. You know, it isn't a case of, you know, Microsoft have put out a low-powered box and, you know, that's all we've got to work with. Every game's different. Every game has its constraints. Every game's trying to push a particular feature to the highest level, so then you might have to cut back on another feature elsewhere and stuff like that. This whole perception of game developers are lazy, it doesn't make any sense why people would think this.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Development studios put lots of money into development of games. Where can laziness come into this? I do not know. It makes no sense to say a game developer is lazy. No one goes to make a game and says, okay, I'm going to put in half the amount of effort and just push something crapper. Even like a game like Assassin's Creed that had a load of bugs in it, even that you can't say it was lazy development. You know, they may have got some things wrong, but I wouldn't say it was lazy. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. You know, every game is different. No lazy developers. Just maybe there might be some bad developers, but definitely it isn't being lazy.
Konami. Yeah, but you're right. 100% right.
What's up, Bryce?
All right, what's good, people? My bad about the little mic problem I just had a second ago. What's going on with everybody?
Yeah, you ruined my introduction.
I know, I loved it though, but yeah, yeah, glad to be on though today, bro.
Well, we started off with the main title, Halo 5 versus Black Ops 3. I was just reminding people of what happened in 2012 with Halo 4 versus Black Ops 2, and how the Halo 4 community kind of died.
All right.
Oh, well, never really recovered. Of course, the Halo cores remained, and you know, every year Call of Duty comes out, we'd be like, hey, and then like, I hated it. I'm not buying Call of Duty again. And so now the thing is, now we have this thing where, you know, the Legend returns, and then you have everybody's favorite Call of Duty returns. What are you doing? Are you getting both? And if you're getting both, well, no, you wasn't even on Advanced Warfare like I thought you would be on. So what's up with you? Are you Black Ops 3? You Halo 5?
I actually gonna get both. Black Ops 2 was one.
You gonna get both, but which one you gonna play most?
Probably, I don't know, man. Why you put me on the spot like that? You know, if I say Call of Duty, I would get hate in the comment section down below. But I have no idea. I actually really like this Halo. I played the beta, and I literally fell in love with the beta. I thought it was, in my opinion, something that a Halo needed with the changes they made.
Yeah.
The game, and I know some Halo purists kind of don't like it, Darian. But I think that this Halo is probably one I can probably stick with, like it's something I can really play for a long time. It has some people say that like Call of Duty like effect to it, but I think all games are starting to turn their attention to that Call of Duty kind of style of gameplay, which is, you know, faster gameplay. Why?
Because you can run?
Yeah, well, right, exactly.
The thing about it, I am going to buy, I know I'm going to buy Black Ops, but I ain't buying it for Xbox. I'm going to buy it for the PlayStation, because nobody on PlayStation knows how to play first-person shooters, and I'll do better at it. So I'll play. I'm gonna get my Halo on Xbox, and I'll get Black Ops 3 on PlayStation, and give my PlayStation some love this fall.
Whoa.
There you go.
I may join you on that, Kid Smooth, because that would be a way for me to get on my PlayStation more. But I just wanted to say something actually, because esports has become such a big thing nowadays, and people don't like really look into how it influences the gamer's choice, because that is, to me, that is what makes Call of Duty so relevant. And you know, with all these big tournaments that are going on, and a lot of people are sort of following it, it sort of makes the life of these Call of Duty games go on for longer. So I believe that if Halo 5 doesn't have a big esports following, that could be possibly a thing that makes it sort of die out quicker than it should do. So I really think that the esports players and stuff like that need to get behind the game as well, in order to sort of make it, you know, a game that can challenge something as big as, you know, Call of Duty.
Well, you know what they can do is, you know, because Halo, I think, will have a good esports, you know, following. What Microsoft need to do and 343 Industries need to do is host a tournament immediately worth $1 million, maybe a couple million or $500,000, however, get their teams together on board, and I guarantee you Halo 5 will be freaking popping up everywhere in those tournaments. I think if they do something in the likes of like Call of Duty, even though Call of Duty had like some length and time,
but I think
these
Halo does like competitions like that though.
They do competitions like that, but the thing is, you know, Call of Duty is the annual game. You know, so there's always something, and and those tournaments are damn near year round up until the next one drops. Yeah. Whereas I feel like Halo, they need to prep something to give it a big push and a presence in the esports arena.
Did any of you guys watch the AC Bongos versus Major Nelson Battlefield tournament that went on? Just before the release of Battlefield, they had this live showing of it was America versus the Europeans. I'll take it that none of you watched that, but it was really good and it was really interactive, because what they did was sort of at certain points, like halfway after a match or whatever, because it was out of the best out of 3 or something like that. Basically, they would ask the audience what they want to see. So there was one point it was guns only, and I'm not sure how they did it, but you know, they asked the audience, "Oh, do you want guns only or knives only?" And everyone basically used the smart glass or whatever to vote.
Nice.
And then suddenly it became guns only and stuff like that. And the events it's on YouTube somewhere. You know, it was like a really big event. You know, the whole America versus Europe and stuff like that, and stuff like that. I think is what Xbox is really good at, and I don't understand why they haven't pushed things like that more, because this whole interactive, you know, watching live matches and being able to vote on stuff like that. I mean, things like what you do in iDub, you know, everyone tweets in, turn off the lights, do this, blah, blah, blah. That kind of stuff is good. And, you know, if you guys watch this, I can't remember what it was called, but just type in Battlefield, America versus Europe, AC Bongos, Major Nelson, and I'm sure that will find something. But yeah, it was really good, really fun. You know, it had what was that lady's name from? She used to be on IGN.
Damn.
Was it IGN or Game Trailers? But
Morgan Webb.
I can't remember what.
Never mind. She's X-Play. She's X-Player.
Yeah, but she was doing a commentary anyway. Yeah, she used to do like the news. She used to do IGN's news, but she left quite a while ago. Jessica Chobot.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
that woman. Yeah, she was doing a commentary. There was someone else doing a commentary. You know, they had Major Nelson on and AC Bongers. They were doing Commander mode, and then you had all these like esports players on each team. So they chose the best of America and the best of Europe and stuff like that. And went head to head. America won, so you guys be glad to know that. But yeah, it was an amazing event, and the way that they had, you know, the interactive stuff coming out and doing knives only or guns only, whatever. It was really cool, and I just think that something like that would work really well with Halo and stuff like that. So if Microsoft could sort of integrate that and get something like that going, that could help with the exposure of Halo and making sure that it's not something that comes out for 2 weeks and then just dies off kind of thing. So yeah.
Microsoft, are you listening? Because what Jay said, that's the same thing that Sad was talking about last year. He was trying to put esports over. Well, esports is already over. He was saying there's guys making money in tournaments, and yeah, that's a good idea, Jay. I hope Microsoft is listening. Definitely.
Yeah.
All right. And this brings us to really kind of the next topic. We kind of started to get into this a little bit before I think Rise got him, but I thought about this when Rise dropped his video. Is that the second question is does Xbox have enough as far as like games? I remember earlier tweet, I think Phil Spencer and Greenberg, they were talking about that, oh my God, they got like so many games, we're gonna have to start moving games. Freaking for the fall, make room for other hits and whatnot. I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, damn, like 2015, yeah, boy. You know what I mean? And it's freaking April, and I haven't gotten anything like yet, and it looks like I'm not gonna get anything until October. And like the thing is, I don't want to do this every year. Like wait until freaking September to get like a game that I really want to play. Like if they have so many games that they feel like they had to move around, why not push things so there's no dry season? Like last year we had Titanfall. Last year we had Titanfall in the springtime. That helped. We had Titanfall and we had like Kinect Sports. That freaking helped. This year we have freaking Ori and Scream Ride. Like I want to like. What, they're just gonna take games that they had ready for this fall and push them to next fall? Like I don't get it. Like what's going on?
Okay, I'll go first with this just because I wanna push some ideas out there and some thoughts. And I would like for the audience to maybe answer some of these questions as well. What was that? So I'd like some of the audience to maybe answer some of these questions because I was having this a bit of a debate on Twitter about this. And you're saying that it's dry season and stuff like that, but whenever I look at the marketplace, I'm seeing games drop almost every week. Yes, they're not AAA games, but they're games regardless. And someone was saying, "Oh man, why is Microsoft pushing these indies? Why is Sony pushing these indies? Blah 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 blah." Okay, AAA's take a while to make or whatever. So then obviously these indies are going to come out, and number one, can indie games and AAA games not live in the same space? Are indie games somehow threatening the existence of AAA games? Do you know what I mean? Number two, I watched a video today. It was more of a sort of techie behind the scenes video of that indie game, No Man's Sky. And the guy said to him, "What are you doing that's next gen?" And he said he was talking about some math equations. And a lot of the algorithms that's used within the game, and he said it can only be done on next gen consoles because of the sheer power to process all of these calculations. And I said to someone, "So is that not next gen for you?" And they were like, "Oh no, yeah, blah blah blah." So to them, next gen seems to be graphics. If it's not amazing graphics, then apparently it's not next gen. But next gen to me means it's something that you couldn't do on old hardware. The machines weren't powerful enough. So therefore, you've got something that you can only do on next generation consoles and stuff like that. And being able to generate vast worlds within seconds, so you should create an infinite world. I mean, Destiny. Imagine you had Destiny and you could create a world that was so massive that you could go explore different planets. Now that would have made it for a better Destiny game than what we're given. Yeah, Destiny's called next gen, but something like No Man's Sky, which gives you these vast planets to explore, isn't next gen. It baffles me how that can be. So you know what I mean? Number one, can indie games not coexist with these AAA games, does it somehow threaten them? And games like No Man's Sky, why is that not next gen when it's doing these next gen features that current, Assassin's Creed, Destiny, Titanfall, Call of Duty can't even do? So audience, please answer that question for me. And for you kids, maybe you're saying there's no games. There's plenty of indie games, because they're indie games, they're no less fun. There might be smaller chunks, but there's so many games that are releasing. There's something for everyone there. I just bought Titan Souls on what do we call it, on my PlayStation 4, and I bought Helldivers as well. Helldivers is a bloody amazing, fun little game. Titan Souls, it's like a 2D version of Shadow of Colossus. Everyone went nuts for Shadow of Colossus because it's big budget, made by Team Ico.
Team Ico, yeah.
Made by Team Ico. It's got these big, juicy graphics at the time. But Titan Souls is basically the same kind of thing, but it's on a 2D plane. Yeah, people say, "Oh man, we've got another indie game." Do you know what I mean? So I just don't get the logic. It's still a game. You're still gonna have fun. So why does it make it any less better? Do indie games need a $60 price tag before you give them the same level of respect? Fun is fun. It's the same as a black person serving you and a white person serving you doesn't. It's not different. You're still getting service. So to me, an indie game giving you fun, a bloody a AAA game giving you fun, you're still getting fun. And I'm not trying to compare racism or anything like that to games. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit smarter than that. So yeah, but I'll just give an example. So where you say it's a dry season, if it's a dry season for you, then maybe you're not a true gamer, because I've been getting plenty of gaming. Money's coming out of my bank account, so you know what I mean. I'm getting games.
I guess when I say it's a dry season, the thing is I played games. I've been playing games, and Rise know that. Me and Rise went back to Rise in the Rome for about a week straight. That's what we did. And we were raging like crazy, but we went back. We went back and did some Chiva. It was fun. It was fun as hell. We went back on that game, Sunset Overdrive, and we did the Forza expansion. Yeah. And we and I've kept continuously going back to Titanfall and whatnot. So I mean, the games. There's some games like I did like get the smaller games. I understand. Yeah, all right. I shouldn't say there's no games, but when I say dry season, it's just like my anticipation level. There's better than anyone else, Jay, that there's just a handful of indies that I can't wait for that's coming, that I want to come out. They just haven't here yet. So the indies that have come out, I either wasn't checking for or they're just not my cup of tea. Right. And the AAAs that came out, either I just wasn't checking for or just not my cup of tea. If you're telling me the biggest games, literally the 5 biggest games that came out up until now for the top of the year was Bloodborne, The Order, Ori and the Blind Forest, and oh my God, there was another Battlefield, and in Battlefield I'm missing one more game, which probably would have been an indie or something like that. But to me, that's just not. It's not enough.
And kid,
sorry. Let me jump in here real quick, because I think when Phil Spencer made that, Phil and Aaron Greenberg, I think that was it Aaron Greenberg or was it Major Nelson?
It was Spencer and Greenberg.
Okay, when they made that statement, I think they was just bulking everything together as far as the indie titles, the remasters that was coming out. I think that's what he was doing. He was putting all that in together. Like, we expect more AAA games, which I'm sorry, Jay. I'm just one of those big budget gamers, and it is not to say that the indie games isn't as good as a big budget game, but I think people don't really expect to get the same amount of how should I say, value out of an indie game in a sense. Because like when I think, like, let's say Ori and the Blind Forest, how long did it take for you to beat a Kiss move?
To complete the game? to complete the game. I actually, to be honest, I haven't 100%ed the game. I kind of just stopped. I kind of faded off.
But pretty
It took
much
me about 10 hours.
exact. So 10 hours compared to a game like with a little bit more replay value. I think that's what.
Yeah, but Ori and the
indie
Blind
games.
Forest it's a single player narrative driven game.
Right.
So you're gonna get to the end, and just like in the Order, which was big budget, millions of dollars, yet it was 5 hours long. So you can't compare. You can't compare the time. It doesn't matter. You understand what I'm trying to say to you here?
And I don't think.
However you look at it, from the left, from the right, up, down. Do you know what I mean? You can spin it. However you cut it, all you're gonna get is, apples and oranges, which is you're trying to compare. You can't do that. You can get a indie game which will give you like for example, maybe No Man's Sky. They're saying you can traverse it for, it's almost infinite or whatever they're saying. So I would have preferred to have played a Destiny game on that universe. Like, trust me, I can give you the link to this video, and you will just be blown away mentally in terms of the equations that he's spitting at you. And when it started making you think about the universe. Maybe we're just, maybe we are just a game that aliens have created. It's crazy. I'm just going off a bit there, but you understand what I'm saying? You can get ample amount of gameplay from an indie game.
Right.
Yeah, you're still gonna say, oh, but it's just an indie game, even though it can give you hundreds of hours of gameplay. But you'd rather say, okay, the Order, because it's been dubbed AAA, so automatically your mind is set that is going to be the better experience.
I think there's levels to like indie games, like No Man's Sky would be like a AA type of game, right? Like, because that sounds like something I would put a lot of
that's what I'm trying to say to you. That team is very small. You can probably get the same amount of people there making another game, and it will be considered. Do you know what I mean? Just they're just indie, but those guys are just smart, But like the main guy, that Sean, he's just a very, very smart guy. He went to the same university that I went to, so I've actually met him. And so there's some people that are just really smart. It's the same as at id Software. They had what was his name? Cormac.
John Carmack.
Yeah, he was just a very, very smart guy. The guy that works at Sony, that made Knack. Although people say Knack's not an amazing game or whatever,
John
that
Cerny.
guy. Yeah, again, a very smart guy. If John Cerny went and made a game by himself, are you gonna say, "Oh, it's an indie game. Oh, I'm not gonna play this"? Do you know what I mean? This is the guy that basically made Doom and stuff like that. Back then, those games and that sort of technology, what you gonna say they were AAA only because it was X amount of years ago and stuff like that? I know. To me, it's really weird because when people go for, go get a flight or an airplane, they don't say, I want to spend the most amount of money possible because blah blah. They go for the cheapest one because they say it's good value. Yet when it comes to an indie game, they say, oh, it's shit because it's cheaper. No, it's not. It's good value. You're getting a good amount of gameplay and it's fun. If the game ain't fun, then yes, please criticize it and say how rubbish it is. If my game comes up and people don't like it, tell me so that I know where I went wrong. I'm not a lazy dev. I'm not stupid. Tell me why you didn't like the game so that in the next game I can take that feedback and implement it. I don't have a publisher. I don't have someone telling me what to do. So I can put that feedback into the next game, etc. But getting back on track, it just does. To me, it just doesn't make no sense why a 5-hour game that's AAA is seen as much better as a 100-hour game that is indie.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense.
You know what the thing is that here's the issue with it is that from what we were used to and what was introduced to us is that during our with time games just got more advanced, games got either looked better or they did more things. And the thing is, we get into these next generations, it's like, oh my God, like what is this going to do to my game? What is this what games are going to look like? I remember going from PS2, and when PS3 and the next Xbox were rumored, I was like, yo, the game's going to look like so realistic, and it's going to be like this, that, and the third. We're just dreaming of what the game's going to look like, you know what I mean? And then the tech demos you see and stuff like that. So I think when the indie games come out, especially us, one being in the early part of the next generation, where we feel we haven't been delivered the games we want, and two, we feel that the next generation has just been kind of really just like an open market for everyone, for more people to like just to make games and any games. So the thing is, they've given us promise on games, but the type of games we want. And so the thing is that when an indie game comes out, it's like, okay, I don't mind indie games, but I want an indie developer to try to make a game to the quality of what I want in the next Halo or something. Not putting that type of pressure, but like, give me a game that's next year. I want an indie developer to make a game that's not possible on PlayStation 2. I wanted the indie developer to make a game that's not possible on the Xbox 360. I want an independent developer to make a game that, wow, okay, this is big time. I don't care how much they charge for it. I just want a game that's like, I feel like that only my Xbox or my PlayStation 4 can play it. You know what I mean? And when you get with the independent scene, you get a lot of these cool games that are really fun. But
this is what I'm saying to you, Kid Smooth. If you watch this video, I'll give you the link because I need you to watch it because you need to understand.
Okay.
This guy clearly says the calculations that are being done could not be done on any previous computer. You can do it on PCs because obviously PCs have, a lot better specs and stuff like that. But on any previous console, you could not do it. You could not generate a world in 15 seconds and stuff like that out of, do you know what I mean? Simple math calculations that can give you infinite variations of animal life and plant life and, sea and, planets and stuff like that. You could not do it. But no one will say that is next gen just because it is made by an indie studio. As far as I'm concerned, people are just brainwashed to say, okay, AAA next gen is graphics. So all you're doing is paying for graphics. So if I'm as an artist draw a piece of turd in very low resolution, yeah. So I draw a piece of turd in very low poly count, yeah. Is it next gen because I've upped the poly count to millions and made it smooth and buttery? Is it now become a next gen piece of turd? Do you know what I mean? It's still a turd. A game is a game.
Jay,
Take that point from Chris Sharla.
I tell you this. I'd rather pay for graphics than to pay for a piece of cloth or a piece of a downloadable content that changed the skin of my first-person shooter character. I'd rather pay for graphics. I'd rather the game look good than to pay for the crap or to pay for characters in the game. So I mean, the thing is, at once upon a time, that's why we were upgrading early. We wanted a piece of that next generation pie. I understand the other aspects of next generation of, rendering and like, oh my God, like look where we can go. We can regenerate the real world like in real time, etc. and whatnot. I understand that, but all right, generate a real world, right? But don't generate it in Nintendo 64's pixels. Generate it and at least a PlayStation what Xbox 360 early year Xbox 360 pixels or something like that. I can deal with that. You know what I mean?
Can I throw my 2 cents in here?
Yeah, I forgot you've been quiet, bro.
I can kind of understand what Jay is saying about No Man's Sky, about how I think that game's on PC and PlayStation 4. Yep. How this guy is using, advanced mathematical computations and the cloud, which no one thinks exists, to generate these galaxies and these huge worlds. And by the way, you guys were talking about the creator of Knack. His name was Mark Cerny. Please forgive me for getting that name wrong. I'm bad with names. I'm confused myself because I've been reporting on these consoles and these video games for years, and I've been a huge gamer. And this generation, I'm just confused. I mean, I'm a graphics whore. I loved Rise Center Rome as much as the next man. I loved Forza Horizon 2, the graphics as much as the next man. But also, I can appreciate the work that was done in a game like, say, Screamride. Screamride on the surface, which everybody overlooked and made fun of and dissed. Screamride on the surface had overly simple graphics until you play the demolition part of the game, where you had to use your roller coasters or test your new ride out using living test dummies, people inside the little, test pods. And the explosions and the destruction and the building deformation and these crashes were something that I did not see or you could not see on the Xbox 360.
To me, that was, because it's on Xbox 360.
But well, if you notice it, you can see a little bit more destruction. I have a video that I using the Xbox's video capture. Mm-hmm. You can see how much more sharper and how much more destruction there is on the Xbox One version. Those are made by the same developers, but I'll be damned if that's the same technology going on. They are not the same games, just like Forza Horizon 2 on the Xbox 360 is not the Forza Horizon 2 that's on the Xbox One. But, is next generation all about graphics? Because if so, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I want a next generation Call of Duty. I want to feel like I'm there.
Exactly.
Wherever, because fighting these terrorists. I don't want to be sitting here like, oh man, this was sort of like a weak sauce copy of Titanfall. So you want these AAA games, but if an indie game can deliver the same experience with less of a budget, with a different way of doing the narrative and delivering the graphics fine. Like right now, I forgot to mention one of the games I forgot to mention was I'm trying out the beta for a game called Smite. I never played these PC games before. I never played these PC games, these MOBAs, these massive online things like Dungeons and Dragons. I'm actually having fun in Dungeons and Dragons. The graphics are simple, but it looks like there's hours of gameplay. I'm like a level 12 in Dungeons and Dragons, and there's like guys that are level 39 in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, damn, how long have you been in this world playing this game to get to level 39?
I'm level 15.
So, yeah. So, it's like, I'm confused now. Is that what this generation is all about now? It's just graphics.
Can I just say though, Ewok, and to the audience as well, I do like graphics because when I saw what Grand Theft Auto did on the PC, I'll admit I actually thought to myself, damn, I need to go out and buy a really souped up PC. So I didn't because I'm a console gamer, but in my mind I did think to myself, wow, I would like something that could produce those type of quality graphics. So don't get me wrong and think that I just like pixel art, because if I'm honest, there's only some games that I'll play that's got pixel art. I don't really like pixel art. Mm-hmm. I like indie games that use 1080p images and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So don't think I'm all about the pixel art and stuff like that. It's not that. To me, when I say indie game, I just mean it's not costing millions of pounds to make. But yeah, I still would like new tech stuff used and stuff like that. But yeah, Grand Theft Auto on the PC looks fucking amazing. Sorry, pardon my language. It looks amazing.
Yeah. I gotta give them that. Yeah.
It better look amazing. They've been waiting 6 years for it. I'm just saying, like that.
Shots fired.
Man, but no. Congrats. They said it was running between like 60. I know it's like 60 frames, but you can get it like a higher than that or something like that, from what I heard. But yeah, I still prefer my consoles, but hey, that's the breaks. But what else we got? Is there anything else that people that anybody want to talk about in regards to?
Yes. I mean, we put it off long enough. But come on, guys, we need to talk about what we saw today. Star Wars Battlefront.
I was going to go with the same thing.
Star Wars Battlefront. Come on, I'll let you lot go first in this one.
All right. Well, I was at work when I seen the the trailer. I was hyped for it. Don't get me wrong. I was hyped for the trailer, and then I went to see a video from my boy Kev West. Shout out to you. But he was saying that the gameplay look. I mean, at least did the trailer look too good? I mean, like it was way too good to be true.
Yeah. I don't believe one bit that that's gameplay.
I think we can all confirm, especially on the console versions, that's definitely not going to be gameplay.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I thought the trailer was incredible. I enjoyed everything. I heard it's only online only, right? Is that?
Yeah, no campaign.
No campaign. So that'd be interesting to see. I kind of prefer a little campaign. It's a Star Wars game. I kind of prefer a piece of a campaign in there, especially because plus the movie is coming out.
Sort of training mode
around the same time. So it would have kind of made. I don't know. I think it would have been good marketing if it could have tied into the movie somehow, some way. But I think I remember it was supposed to be like 40 versus 40 game, right?
What? No, 20 versus 20.
20. I'm sorry, 20 versus 20.
About to say.
It's still crazy.
20 versus 20. That shit sounds hectic.
It's still crazy.
No, that's less than Battlefield.
That sounds like fun, in my opinion. And so that is gonna make.
It comes out November 17th, right?
It's gonna make the holiday season.
Right.
It's that much.
Damn. Better. So that means Call of Duty is definitely coming out the first week of November, which means it's a week immediately after Halo, and you got Battlefront on the 17th of November. Okay, cool. And so that means Tomb Raider's coming out the 24th. All right. So my prediction's looking about right for Tomb Raider.
I plan on getting either fired or like hit by a bus.
Man,
just so I can just.
Whatever you do, don't cut another finger.
I'm not cutting a finger. Definitely not doing that again. That's important for what I'm trying to do in November.
Okay, guys, can I disappoint you or just lower the mood right now? I'm gonna say I was disappointed with the trailer.
Whoa!
Wow. Here's why. Number one, it said gameplay reveal. So I expected there to be 20 people versus another 20 people playing the game live.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to see what I saw today because, like you're all saying, it looks too good to be true. And, it's like, why didn't they show us the game running as we would be playing it?
Yeah.
It would have made so much of a bigger impact if we saw someone with a control pad in their hand playing it, because they're saying running off a PlayStation. That could just be pre-rendered footage. To me, it's like that was the greatest opportunity for them to have been like, yes, look at this big scale battle going on. This is what you're going to be getting. I would have went and done a pre-order, and I don't like pre-ordering games. Do you know what I mean? I don't like pre-ordering games. I would have went and pre-ordered it if that's what I saw, but I didn't see that. I saw this footage that looked like pre-rendered stuff, and it was like, oh, okay, it looks good. My overall feeling was it was okay, but that really was a bummer to me because I expected gameplay, and I just think when developers say gameplay, I expect to be seeing someone playing the actual game, not a cutscene or whatever nonsense. But
that was even a cutscene. You know what that was that we saw? When you boot up the game for the first time, they show all the action and the start button comes, and you gotta press start to start the real.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to say. So, but I just wanna clap for Sony, because for them to get the partnership with Battlefront, that is amazing. For them to be the lead platform on that, again, amazing. So I just have to hats off to Sony for that one.
No doubt.
Alright, so
know,
it's gonna be
like,
another game advertised as a PlayStation exclusive.
yeah, exactly.
God
So
damn.
Xbox is going to be bringing out some more cologne called Battlefront or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, you know, I have to give Sony their props there on securing that. You
See,
know,
the
people
thing
keep
is,
saying,
that's the smart thing about what Sony does. It's like they get these games that already have like amazing backing. Like Star Wars,
yeah,
come on, everybody knows what the hell
exactly.
Star Wars is. Batman, everybody know who Batman is. Like
Exactly.
these,
So I don't understand why Microsoft. People saying, "Oh, they got Call of Duty. Why can't they have both?" You know, do you know what I mean? Get both of them, like. But yeah, so hats off to Sony for that one. And lastly, the thing that really made me say yes and pump my fist in the air, you know, doing a Hadouken, was the fact that there was no campaign. But DICE said themselves they are no good at doing campaigns. Why do you want a tacked on campaign mode? They said they've got smaller co-op modes and stuff like that, so you can train and things like that. But DICE are good at making multiplayer online experiences with destruction, you know, vehicle warfare and stuff like that.
yeah.
Leave them to do what they're good at. Don't tack on a campaign for campaign's sake. We want to see a campaign, go watch the film 3 weeks later. You know, go watch it in 3D, whatever. That keep the narrative stuff over there. But yes, well done DICE for not caving and adding in a campaign mode that just was not needed. Battlefield is all about the multiplayer, and that is basically what you're getting when you have Star Wars Battlefront. So well done to them on that one.
All right, who's scratching their beard?
Oh, my bad. Me personally, guys, because you know you guys are multi-console owners. I only have one console, the Xbox One. Me personally, I'm going to do what I did last year. I'm going to stick to the Xbox exclusives: Forza Motorsport 6, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and Halo 5. And I'm going to wait to see the dust settle. And if that Star Wars game gets great reviews, I'm buying it. But I'm going to wait because there has not been a great Star Wars game since Knights of the Old Republic, and that was on the OG Xbox in 2003. So I'm going to wait for the dust to settle. So, what is that noise?
Good point. It's like somebody's taking flight, man. What the hell? All right.
Yeah,
Good
try
point.
mute your mics.
Yeah, I muted mine. Oh man, but what else was all right? So yeah, Star Wars. We're likely going to see like gameplay or extended gameplay at E3. So we're going to see like a whole bunch of game reveals. You know, we got Call of Duty next week, and we're going to get some others maybe before E3 comes around. Oh man, but which is soon? Was it E3's June, right?
E3 is June. E3 is June.
Okay, so
But I mean,
got 6 weeks.
there was a lot of excitement this weekend. I mean, all you know, game trailers being shown, game announcements. But guys, I know it's not game related, but Rise and Grind. Tell me you've seen some of the trailers for these movies that got released this weekend.
Okay, so Star Wars was one of them that released this weekend, and holy fuck, that fucking trailer. I love Avengers, but I think I'm a little more hyped for Star Wars now.
Yeah.
Avengers had a trailer came out, right? Yeah.
They had a re-edited trailer, but the Star Wars trailer was amazing. It just incredible. But Warner Brothers.
That Han Solo at the end.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was nice. Warner Brothers today, it leaked yesterday, but Warner Brothers released the official teaser trailer for Batman versus Superman. Dude, what? I did not have any idea they were going to go this dark. Have you guys seen the trailer yet?
I've not seen the trailer yet.
Dude,
I've seen it.
I don't even know if I want to spoil it for you, but it wasn't what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting them to go that dark. I can't wait.
I did like Ben Affleck.
The Batman character is definitely serious. They definitely made this one.
I don't like Ben Affleck.
Yeah,
I didn't like it though, but I didn't like the way Ben Affleck looked. But
Yeah, it was
Ben
like,
Affleck got
actually,
that
to be honest
the
with you,
Batman chin.
let me just roll back. I am excited for the movie because it looked cool as fuck, but I don't like the idea of the movie. The Batman. Oh, well, okay, I do. Let me. I do like the idea, but I don't like it. I don't like it the way they made it, like into the movie. I think they should have chose another.
yeah, they should have just used Christian Bale.
No, not even.
Ben Affleck has the chin, man. He
No!
has that. He has the Batman.
Guys, listen to me. This Ben Affleck's take on Batman. I don't know if you guys read the comic books. Ben Affleck's take on Batman is not as old as this Batman, but the Batman that was in a 1986 comic book called The Dark Knight Returns. This is a pissed Batman. This is a different Batman. This is a Batman who is a brawler, a fighter, a physical bruiser, a physical imposer. And for some reason, I don't want to spoil the trailer for anybody who hasn't seen it, but if you saw Man of Steel, the world is blaming the Superman for destroying Metropolis, but in a strange twist, they're also worshiping him as like a false god. So for some reason, Batman was obviously in Metropolis while it was being destroyed, and he and Lex Luthor have got an axe to grind against this dude. And so the whole movie, the whole trailer is about this confrontation these two are about to have. And at the end of the trailer, Batman is in his metal suit from The Dark Knight Returns saying in a totally different voice, not a Christian Bale voice.
Do you bleed?
Dude, what? What?
I don't know, man. You know what? I don't know. People are gonna really hate me right now because, like, I watched both of these trailers, and I watched the Star Wars one, and I was just like, okay, so why is everyone getting hyped? And then I watched the Batman one, and I was like, okay, I don't like Ben Affleck or the way he said, "Do you bleed?" It just did not work for me.
I understand.
I watched that honest trailers of Daredevil, and that's all I got in my mind of Ben Affleck. Just.
Oh.
I kind of agree. Like, I can't help but to think of what he did to. I wouldn't say what he did to Daredevil, but I gotta associate him with Daredevil.
Yeah, you got some haters. You got some haters, man. Oh my god.
He's gonna make a believer out of y'all in a Batman. Trust me. And as far as Star Wars, the Star Wars trailer just took you back to being a little kid again. I mean, they did it.
I've never been into Star Wars that much. Like,
that's cool.
Yeah, I got into it more with the newer ones because it had more action into it, and I would go back and watch the older ones. But it's even like Star Trek. I did not like Star Trek until the newer version, which had more action.
I would never like Star Trek. I'm sorry, it would never be something I like.
Star Trek is an old man, like.
But yeah, the Star Wars. Everyone's like, "Oh, you saw Han Solo at the end." I saw Harrison Ford at the end. That's what I saw. Do you know what I mean? And someone was saying to me like, "Oh, something about Boba Fett," and I was like, "Who the hell is Boba Fett?"
Oh man!
And they cursed me out. Who is Boba Fett? Who is this guy? I don't know. I'm just not a big Star Wars fan. I like movies, so I can appreciate it from that angle. But you know, if you say all these people, I'll just be like, I don't know who that is. You know, unless I watch the film and I'm like, oh, okay. You know. I don't know. For me, do you know what? I'm probably rooting for the Sith Lords. That's you know.
Oh man!
So yeah, maybe they need to make them win one of these episodes.
Oh man, Jay, you're a rough customer, dude.
Oh man, but before we cut this thing out, anybody got anything else to say? Anything else they want to bring up?
I mean, yeah, I got something. It's more of a bit of a will I say a plug? I don't know, but yeah, I was just talking to someone about this whole perception of why people constantly hate Microsoft, and I don't know. I really want to get down to the source of why everyone really hates them, because we need to get to a place where when they do something good, people need to appreciate what they're doing. Otherwise, do you know what I mean? It's like
I don't think everybody hate them though. I know
No,
legitimately. I know.
People just hate. People hate Microsoft. Like you just say Microsoft, and people it makes them shudder. Like there's a demon, some demon cult associated with Microsoft or something. And I don't know. For me, I just see lots of good things that they do, and that might be because I'm in their world in terms of I use all their tools at work, and I've got their dev kits and blah blah, blah and stuff like that. And so someone might say I'm maybe biased, but I don't know. It just seems like they can do no good, and every media outlet seems to be bashing the Xbox, and I would have thought that it would have died down by now, but it seems that they still do it. Even the people that said that they're Xbox supporters and they have podcasts towards the Xbox, even in those podcasts they still say like, oh, the Kinect is rubbish, or oh, this thing's rubbish, and it's like, well, don't people have Kinect like the green screen and stuff like that? It's not the best, but at least they're still making good features out of it. And like I was in a big party. I was actually in a party with Room to Kill earlier, Kids Move, and a bunch of other guys. So we were just playing some games and stuff like that. And at the end of it, I was able to just say, Xbox, go to Netflix, just like that. I didn't have to. Shit, I just actually made it go to Netflix. But yeah, I didn't have to. Find the control pad and change and blah blah, and things like that. I just feel like, wow, I can't go back to a console that can't do that.
You can't.
Like
you can't go
back.
back.
The next Xbox has to be able to do that, and little things like that where yes, it takes us a couple seconds just to get up and find a remote and do it or whatever, but it's like little things like that we're becoming so used to, and no one's recognizing stuff like that and giving Microsoft their props for it. And the fact that I've met a lot of these Microsoft people like Chris Charlotte, like they're some really amazing people, and people just don't give them enough props for what they do. And I just wanted to just bring that up and say I would just really like to know why people feel so much hate towards them.
Well, because people are stupid. People are stupid. They only do what the media tells them. And this isn't a shot against Sony, but we'll have to make this for another podcast. One company has been busting their ass to give you a good product, listening to you, changing features, giving you features, and the other company's just been so clueless that they don't even know why their product is selling. The other company's been letting your information get stolen, your credit card information get stolen, and not refunding you. It's mind-boggling to me. If I was the owner of a company, of a consumer product or any product, where we're busting our ass to work hard to give you a great product week in and week out, and the media and people just bash, it would make you almost want to quit. But the thing is when you're on top, when you're a successful company like Microsoft and Apple and Xbox, they're very successful. You're going to have haters, dude. You're going to have haters. So, like I said, we'll see how this race ends, but please do not worry about Microsoft audience. They've got some of the smartest people on the planet other than Apple working over there. So they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. If you have to exalt Sony and put them on your shoulders and carry them, you do that, because they need it right now. They're still hemorrhaging money. So I'm glad the PS4 is a success. But Microsoft, they're the last people on planet Earth I'd be worried about, because those guys over there, Pinello and Spencer and Greenberg, they're smart. You know that, Jay. You know them. So it is what it is, man.
I think you could turn any corporation into a monster. I mean, look at both, the Sony and Microsoft. Like both of them, if you just seek out all the negativity about them, you can make both of them seem like a complete monster. And I think I think it goes both ways, because I see a lot of videos about how shit Sony is when they do a lot of great things in my opinion as well. I think it's just a thing. I remember Nas saying, man, I hate to quote a Nas song right now, but he said, niggas hate what they don't understand. Niggas
fear what they don't understand. Hate what they can't conquer.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing of they trying to tear each other apart and take each other down, and they the fact that they can't do it is what makes them hate it so much. That's why they constantly search for things to bash about each other or about whatever corporation they just don't like. They just can't take it down, That's my opinion about it.
Well, I'd like to hear anything from the audience. So yeah, if you want to throw any questions or your thoughts to us, then please do leave some comments, because I'm really interested in it. Maybe I'm just living in a bubble. Like I said, I'm in the Microsoft world using these things every day. So I'd like to hear other people's thoughts on it. So yeah.
And Kid Smooth, before we go, can I just put over one thing that we haven't talked about before we go? Something actually historic has happened in the YouTube and the gaming journalist circles that no one's talking about. Extreme Xbox Gamers, which just started a few months ago, has joined forces with We Game Here. So what this means is you have got people like Kid Smooth, Microbox of X, Chrissy Chris, Erock8150, Yosahop, Darian is King. You've got a consortium of YouTube content creators, journalists, and writers joining forces now under one roof. That is We Game Here joining forces with Extreme Xbox Gamers. That is bananas. So what that means is no matter where you go, you'll be able to get gaming news on either Extreme Xbox Gamers or We Game Here. That is crazy. Never that I could think of have so many journalists, writers, and YouTube content creators been under one roof. So I don't know how this went down or who made it happen, but kudos. That's just huge, man. That's huge.
Shout out to King Dre and everybody from We Game Here and Extreme Xbox Gamers. It should be fun. The next couple months should be really, really, really fun. But to everybody who's watching, if you need a fun Facebook group to join, talk about games, and just to get in on all things gaming, join Extreme Xbox Gamers on Facebook if you're especially on the Xbox side. But if you want to just all around gaming, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, join the We Game Here as well, and also visit the official WeGameHere.com to get your legit gaming news.
Mm-hmm.
Get that right? Okay.
That's right. Real writers. Our buyers on uncut.
Yeah. Also, I'm happy to say, the official WeGameHere.com will have the first official review of Jay's Game Gear Gauntlet.
Nice.
We will.
Oh my God, is that still a thing?
Finally.
But I'm about to close this down and let you guys get on with the rest of your Friday night, and hope you guys have a good Saturday morning, or in the Saturday night. So there won't be a podcast tomorrow. We end up doing it today. I'm sorry we missed last week, but I was going through a little bit, but I'm finally getting here. I should be making a return with some daily content on YouTube, but if you don't really care to see videos from me, you can always see good writings from me on the official WeGameHere.com. But other than that, I am out. I need a drink. And the package store is closed. It's after 9 o'clock here in Connecticut. But I'm gonna end it like this. Thank you guys for watching. Shouts out to those who's watching. Shouts out to Extreme Xbox Gamers. Shouts out to all the people and all my partners at the official WeGameHere.com. Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. I just pissed so many people off. Good night or good morning for Jay's instance if you're on the other side of the globe.
Good night.